if you're ready to take your story skills to the next level, I have a free guide that you can download. It's called Crafting Stories That Resonate in Business. All you need to do is go to lisahugo.com/stories. That's lisahugo.com/stories. We'll put the link in the show notes.
Hey, I'm Lisa Hugo, and I am obsessed with helping other people find their voices so they can go out and take on the world, be seen as an authority, an expert, and grow their business by sharing that knowledge and expertise with others. Now, I studied performing arts, and I spent 20 years of my career traveling the world as a professional singer-songwriter. I teach you the secrets to speak up and be heard, overcome your fears, and then use these skills to build a business and a life that you love and that could change both your own life and the lives of others. This is your one-stop shop for all things that are going to help you to build a life on your terms. This is Impact Through Voice.
Well, hey, and welcome back to another episode of the Impact Through Voice podcast. I'm your host, Lisa Hugo, and today I am diving into a topic that's, well, it's not only timeless, but it's also one of the most powerful tools that you can use to connect with your audience, to inspire action, and to leave a lasting impression. And that is the art of storytelling, and in particular, the art of storytelling in business. So whether you are an entrepreneur, whether you're a speaker, whether you're someone who needs to make presentations engaging, storytelling is really the ultimate tool. It's that secret ingredient that can transform any dry, forgettable presentation into something that resonates deeply with your audience. I mean, stories are so powerful. They can captivate, they can inspire, they can create emotional connections, and they make complex ideas relatable, and they are far, far more memorable than just giving us a list of facts and figures. You know, in business, stories can help you to convey your vision, can help you to convey your mission or your product's value in a way that's going to stick with your audience long after that conversation is over. But here's the thing. Storytelling isn't just about sharing, let's say, any story. It's about sharing the right story at the right time and then linking it back to your message. So that's what I'm going to explore with you here today. So grab a notepad or open up your notes app, because what I'm going to share is very actionable and a framework that you can use to craft your own unforgettable stories. But let's address, first of all, why stories work so well in business. Well, first, stories create emotional connections. People don't just buy products or services. They buy feelings, they buy solutions, they buy trust. And a well-told story can evoke emotions that make your audience feel seen, they feel heard, they feel understood. Secondly, stories make those really complicated ideas and your facts and your figures so much more relatable. I mean, if you think about it, if you're trying to explain a technical concept or a new business idea, it can be really hard for your audience to grasp it right away. But when you wrap the idea in a story, it suddenly becomes easier to understand, and it's definitely much more memorable. And the third is that stories, well, I just said it, they are memorable. Studies show that people are far more likely to remember information when it's presented in a story format compared to when it's delivered as plain data, facts, and figures. So in business, this means that stories can help you to stand out, to build trust, to make a lasting impression. Now, let's talk about the types of stories that you can use in business. And they generally fall into three main categories. The first one I'm going to share is pivotal moments. These are those defining moments in your life or in your career that have shaped who you are today. So, for example, the moment that you decided to start your business, or the experience that taught you a valuable lesson. challenges, and breakthroughs. These are stories that focus on obstacles you faced and how you overcame them. They are incredibly powerful because they demonstrate vulnerability and resilience. And that's something that your audience can really relate to. Audiences love it when you show your vulnerable side. And the last one is personal experiences. Now, these are often the richest form of stories because they're very unique to you. They could be funny, they could be heartwarming, they could be surprising, but they always reveal something about your personality or your values. So think about your own life and your career. What pivotal moments, what challenges, or what personal experiences have shaped your journey to where you are today? Now, uncovering your stories can be daunting. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, I don't have any stories that are worth sharing. And it's easy to think that way, but trust me, you do. You just need to learn how to discover them, how to uncover them. And one of the best ways to do this is by keeping a story library. So I use a simple Google Doc where I jot down stories as I remember them. Or you can use your notebook, or you can use voice notes on your phone. I find that also really helpful because when you're in the moment, you just quickly open up a voice note and you share the idea. And then that's recorded so you can go back and you can expand on it again later. Now, when you start to create your story library, make sure you categorize your stories by themes or by emotions. For example, you might have a category for resilience, and you might have another one for creativity or another one for leadership. And this then makes it really easy to find the right story to fit into your talk exactly when you need it. And if you're using voice notes, don't forget to give them a title, because trust me, you don't want to be scrolling through recording 1, recording 2, recording 3, recording 500, trying to find that one brilliant idea that you just had last week, last month, 6 months ago, because obviously our voice notes will just record them and title them based on number 1, number 2, number 3. So make sure that you take the time after you've recorded something to go back in and give it a title which is relevant to the story that you have just come up with or remembered. Okay, let's talk about the framework of a great story. Now that you have started building a story library, let's talk about how to structure those stories. Because every great story has 3 key parts. It has the setup. This is where you're going to introduce your characters and the context of the entire story. You're going to set the scene. You're going to give your audience just enough background to understand what's happening. Then you have the conflict. Now this is, let's call it the heart of the story. It's where you present the challenge, the obstacle, or the problem that needs to be overcome. And then the third part is the resolution. This is where you reveal how that conflict was resolved and what you did to get to that outcome, or what the outcome was, because in what we did to get to the outcome is in the center, in the heart of the story. But beyond the structure, then the story also needs some essential ingredients. First, it has to be relatable. Your audience has got to think, I understand, I've been there, or I know somebody who's been through this experience. It needs to have tension, a challenge or a discomfort that keeps the audience engaged. They want to know, how did he get through this? What was the outcome? So they're fully immersed in observing or being on that journey with you to go through that challenge. It has to have hope, has to have a positive resolution that leaves them inspired. And it needs authenticity. You have to be real. You have to allow yourself to be vulnerable. Audiences will connect with honesty. So let me share a story that really illustrates the power of storytelling in business. And this story is about Sarah Blakely. And Sarah is the founder of Spanx. And Sarah often tells the story of how she came up with the idea of Spanx. She was getting ready for a party and she wanted to wear white pants, but she didn't have the right undergarment to create a smooth look. Now, as ladies, come on, we all know this. You put on a pair of white pants and you know that everything can be seen through those white pants. It might be your underwear. It might be that the pants have got pockets, and so those white pockets are standing out, and it just looks odd. Maybe men, if you wear white pants as well, you go through this too. So what Sarah did is, in a moment of frustration, trying to get that nice smooth look for her white pants, she decided to cut the feet off a pair of pantyhose. And that's how the idea of Spanx was born. So what makes this story so powerful is that it's incredibly relatable. How many of us have faced a similar wardrobe dilemma? It's also really simple, it's memorable, and it's tied directly to her product. But what makes it really stand out is how she links it back to her entrepreneurial journey. She uses this story to talk about the importance of solving real problems, thinking creatively, and persevering through challenges. So let's talk now about that secret ingredient, which is linking your story back to your main message. So the key that you need to ask yourself is, why am I telling this story? And then explicitly connect it to your topic. For example, Sarah's story isn't just about cutting the pantyhose. It's about innovation. It's about problem solving. It's about resilience. So when you're telling a story, use this phrase. I'm telling you this because. I'll say that again. I'm telling you this because. This simple sentence bridges the gap between your story and your message. It makes the story relevant, and it makes sure that your audience really understands the purpose behind the story. And what you'll find is very often when you're telling a story and the audience is curious, but they're not really sure, why is she telling me this story about cutting the bottom off her pantyhose? What's the relatability to me being here in a business presentation? But then you say these 3 words, I'm telling you this because. And then you share the connection back to your main message. If you're speaking about creativity in business, you could say, I'm telling you this story because it shows how a simple, everyday frustration can spark $1 million idea when you approach it with curiosity and determination. Once you've chosen your story, it's time to then bring it to life. Now, it's one thing to just tell a story, but you need to learn how to use your voice, your body language, your facial expressions to make it really engaging and connected to your audience. So if your story has characters, then you need to differentiate their voices and their mannerisms. Don't be afraid to step outside your comfort zone, because when you do, your audience will so appreciate the effort that you're making. And most importantly, make sure you tap into the emotions that you felt during the experience. If you relive the story in your mind, your audience is going to feel it too. So for example, when Sarah Blakely tells her story, she often mimics the frustration she felt in that moment, grabbing a pair of pantyhose, cutting them off with scissors. And this just makes the story vivid and relatable. Storytelling isn't just a tool for presentations. It's a way to connect with your audience, to build trust, to make your message unforgettable. Whether you are pitching a product, whether you're leading a team, or you're networking, stories can help you to stand out and leave a lasting impression. So start building your story library today. Record your ideas, refine them, practice linking them to your message. You're going to be amazed at how stories can really transform your communication and elevate your business. So if you found this helpful, please don't forget to subscribe, leave me a review, share a comment below, and if you're ready to take your story skills to the next level, I have a free guide that you can download. It's called Crafting Stories That Resonate in Business. All you need to do is go to lisahugo.com/stories. That's lisahugo.com/stories. We'll put the link in the show notes. We've got some amazing guests lined up for next week's episode, which is a guest episode. As you may have noticed, every 2 weeks, we alternate between having a guest episode in studio or sharing some tips and techniques which are going to help you to show up as a better version of yourself. Okay, until then, keep working on your voice, on your stories, and I guarantee you success will follow.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Impact Through Voice podcast. Now, if you've reached the end of this episode, then it means you're enjoying the podcast. So I have a quick favor to ask. If you haven't yet subscribed, please go and do it now and even leave us a review, because it really does help us so much to reach more people and impact more people. And I would be very, very grateful. Now, I love to read all of your comments about the show and what you're enjoying, what you would like to hear more of. So please take the time and go and do that now. When you do that, please take a screenshot and then tag me on Facebook or Instagram. That's Lisa Hugo Official. Now, I'm going to be sure to share your post, and I'm also going to private DM you with a thank you. And it also means you won't miss an episode. And as a subscriber, then you're going to get access to more content that we don't even open up to everybody. So thanks again. And until next time, keep on working towards your goals and making a positive impact on the world with your voice.